G'day guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we are talking about none other than the Zottman Curl. The Zottman Curl is a hybrid between your classic bicep curl and then is a rotation and control of the negative in a reverse bicep curl. So why would we do a Zottman Curl? Well, it's a really good eccentric loader when it comes to our brachialis and our extensor muscles through our forearms. So we can start to make adaptations and grow through these particular muscles and overload these muscles in a way that potentially we wouldn't be able to do because we don't have the concentric strength in order to do that. So that there is why a Zottman Curl is really handy, because you can come up and use those biceps to do most of the heavy lifting or most of the concentric work, create your rotation, and then you're going to control that down in your eccentric movements. Now we know that most muscles work far greater in an eccentric portion and they're far stronger, which is why we have the ability to, well, first of all, our strongest point is when we're holding static. Our second strongest point is the eccentric portion, so we're able to lower ourselves, and then obviously a concentric portion. So a good example of this is, say, a chin up. A lot of people can control themselves down, a lot of people can hold at the top, not a lot of people can pull themselves up. Okay, so with that being said, how do we want to set this up? What does a Zottman Curl look like? Well, we're going to set up exactly how we would with all bicep curls. Remember, we don't want to generate any momentum, so we are going to screw our feet in, and what that's going to do is create a chain of events. And that chain of events is, one, we can't get up onto our toes. There are three ways that most people generate some momentum. That comes through getting up onto their tippy toes, bouncing with their knees, and using their hips to throw it up. So what we are going to do by screwing our feet in, three changes of events are going to happen. One, you're going to grip the ground with your feet, which is probably not going to allow you to do plantar flexion up there. All right, you're going to create 3 points of contact. Number two is you're actually going to lock your knees out, so switch those quads on, and because you're screwing into the ground, you're going to feel these glutes come on, so that's going to control your hips. So your hips shouldn't go too far forward or back because you are nice and locked in. Okay, that's our lower body. Our upper body, we want to create stability through our shoulder blades by pulling them back and down, making sure that they are switched on at all times, because what we know is that our bicep muscle goes over two joints, not so much our brachialis, which goes over just this one joint, but our bicep goes over two, so we want to control that, make sure that we're getting the most amount of work out of the concentric as much as we are going to be working the eccentric loading pattern. So we're going to be pulling our shoulder blades back and down, keeping it nice and tight. With the dumbbells, because they are dumbbells, it doesn't really matter about ourselves being too far forward, but you can definitely do that. Remember in our bicep curl tutorial that if we have our arms slightly forward, we're going to keep the tension running through those biceps, versus if we come straight back down, that gravity is really doing majority of the work and there's no tension on that bicep. So slightly forward, tension, straight down in line with your arm, not so much tension. Okay. So we're going to start like so. Shoulder blades pin back and down, screw our feet in, knees locked out, backside on. Now from this position, what I'm going to do is come up in the concentric phase. I'm going to rotate at the top and control negative. Rotate, concentric, control, negative. And that there is your Zottman Curl. Make sure that your shoulder blades are back and down. Okay, we're coming up, rotation, back down. And you can see that my biceps are doing majority of the work at the top, and then my forearms are coming well and truly into the game on the negative phase. And just like that. Alright team, that there is how you want to go about doing your Zottman Curls. I hope you picked up a few tricks and tips with this particular tutorial.